Check, 1, 2.
Check, 1, 2.
Sorry, it's the name of the show. We have to do it at the start.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to this week's episode. Now, before I even speak to this man, there's a few things I need to say. You may recognise his face. This guy has been on your TV screens and probably you've met him in person. You may have seen him from back in the day in Des O'Connor's Pot of Gold.
You've done your research.
You may have seen him in 2010, I believe, on Britain's Got Talent, which he did amazing. It was incredible. He was even given his own show on ITV. And if you're a huge fan of Harry Hill, he was even in the Harry Hill movie. And I can't wait to talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend and yours, the one and only, the legend that is, Mr. Paul Burling.
I'm clapping myself. Oh, yeah. The build-up was so good. I don't believe who I am. That's great, yes.
Paul, thank you, mate, for coming here.
Well, a pleasure. It's just nice to get out of the house, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's nice for my wife not to see my face every day. So,
oh, bless you, mate. Listen, I've known you for a few years now, and it's very rare we get a chance to sit down and have a chat together, and so it's a huge honour to be here. And I've got so much to ask you. Listen, the first thing I should say is you are mainly known, really, for your impressions. Is that what you would class yourself as? Are you an impressionist? Are you a comedy entertainer? What would you say you are?
I was sort of impressionist who tries to do comedy. Yeah, I'm sort of more vocally a variety of impressions, as most people know anyway.
Yeah.
And it's got quite a wide range, if you like.
A range?
A range.
You could call it that, mate. You do almost everyone, don't you?
That's just a vicious rumour, darling. Just don't tell the wife. Whoa. Anyway, yes, I have a wide range, and I try and do something for everybody, like we all do in any walk of business. In whether you're a singer or a comedian or a juggler or whatever, you try and do something for everybody.
Yeah, right.
Because we're in the variety business, and we're in the business of show and families. You know, it's all about the families, isn't it?
Yeah, because I remember in your first BGT performance, you say you do a range. You did everyone from, you did cartoon characters, you did famous actors, you did singers, you did everyone, and it's impressive. Most impressionists kind of stick to one kind of genre, like, you know, there are these impressionists that only do political stuff, so they'll only do prime ministers,
like Rory
and that kind of
Bremner
thing.
and all that sort
Absolutely,
of stuff.
and Rory Bremner is great, but he's
Brilliant.
not for everyone. I apologise, Rory.
No, Rory's brilliant because
He is great.
Again, he was one I aspired to, because before he started doing all the satire and the political stuff, he was quite a mainstream impressionist.
Yeah.
So even now he still does the old Julian Clary now and again. You know, really. I feel a sticky moment coming on. And he still does that now and again. I think in his stand-up rather than he does in his TV stuff. Because obviously, you can imagine Julian Clary, you know, so Boris, I do like your hair. You know, yes, of course, yes. You know, that sort of stuff. So I know he does. He's very good at picking great characters. In fact, I think I've got an old VHS. Anybody remember them?
Oh my God, VHS. What is that? Do you remember those days? Betamax.
My gran told me about them.
God.
Anyway, and I think I've still got it somewhere in a box in the loft somewhere.
Yeah.
Of his old English, the Desmond Nine and the Julian Clary, sort of real quite mainstream stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
But then he obviously moved over to the satire stuff, which he's excellent at as well.
So have you done? Is this something like you've done for a kid? Is it something like at Christmas times you just learnt that you could do impressions, or how did it start? I want to know where it started from the beginning, because I mean, because let's face it, you're bloody good.
Well,
so you must have been doing it.
Believe,
you must have been doing it forever.
I think it started when I was a nipper, and I've told this story a few times. I've got 3 sisters, you see, so I didn't get a word in edgeways, no brothers and stuff. So.
Right.
And so as we all grew up, and I was the second to last. You know, teenage girls argued and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I just sort of stepped back. I haven't went to my room and watched TV. Even back then I had a black and white TV in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I just used to watch. It was mainly cartoons. Starting to watch cartoons. I love animations to this day, as most people know. I love animation.
Brilliant.
And cartoons, more of this sort of retro stuff as well. But yeah, I just was like watching like the Warner Brother cartoons.
Yeah.
So.
You mean like the old Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, so, no, be very, very quiet. I'm going to catch a rabbit. Yeah, what's up, duck? And all that sort of stuff. And, well, very happy. Watching with my audience. Anyway, and stuff like that. And I used to do, I'll say, son, I'm a chicken. Oh, I'm a chicken, like, and all that sort of Foghorn Leghorn, and then the Flintstones, all that. Yabba dabba doo, okay, fit, okay, buddy. You know.
Yeah.
And I always just watch them, and when there was a cartoon, I was watching it. You know what I mean? And I just used to sit there and didn't think anything of doing it. I just used to copy it, then go to sort of school, and because I was very shy.
Were you?
I'm incredibly shy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Three sisters. I didn't stand a chance, did I, really?
Most of the best performers are. I hear this all the time.
Yeah,
like I was
I
quite
was
shy
very,
at school.
very shy kid. But I sort of won over people with my just a small circle of people by doing impressions.
Wow.
And I originally from Hertfordshire. Hello, Hertfordshire. It's very posh. Get out of the bath to go for a wee. Anyway, and we they used to get me up in front of the whole school.
Wow.
At primary school.
Oh, wow.
So doing these cartoon characters and stuff, right? And then I was even doing like Mike Reed doing Runaround.
Yeah.
If anybody remembers Runaround, which is a kids program, it was Mike Reed as in Frank Butcher Mike Reed.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's totally out of, it's like his kids running around, like, oh, what? Yeah. What? Easy question. Run around. And I was doing that when I was 6 or 7.
Really?
5 or 6, something like that, yeah.
Wow.
So he used to get me up in front. And then
Did you not ever get in trouble for? Did you ever do impressions of your teachers?
Not really, no, because they were boring. There's no really sort of, I can remember doing that. But again, when I went up to secondary school and stuff like that, and I just sort of did it more and more.
Yeah.
Again, you move up, to the next school, and because I'm from a little village school, moved up to this big school, town school, and again didn't know anybody, and very nervous, very shy. And then one of the kids that I went to school with, who went up with me from the village school, said, "Oh, he does impressions, sort of thing." And they went, "Oh, does he? Go on, do something. Go on,
mate."
No, So they used to go, go on. So anyway, it used to come a thing up when I made this little circle of friends, a very small select.
Yeah.
That they used to say to me, "Right, Berlin, tomorrow you've got to be somebody or some set of characters for the whole day."
Brilliant. Amazing.
So I used to go to school, and back then it was the young ones and stuff. And used to be Tiswas as well.
Yeah.
Mork and Mindy was all into Mork and Mindy, so I was doing Robin Williams going, "Oh yes, just about Mindy, Mork Cunningham, Cunningham." And I used to be like that all day, every day. They said, right, every time you see us, you'll go, no. Oh, you better shut up,
Wow, mate.
So I had to be for the day.
Do you know what impressive? I've never really thought of this before, right? Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong. Impressions ain't just about your voice, is it? Because I'm watching you now, and as you do these impressions, you bloody look like them.
Well,
like you look like Robin Williams when you do it. You've got like the mannerisms and stuff. Is that something you practice in a mirror, or is that just from watching them on TV?
Just watching it, and I never really, unless there's one I can't get that I really want to get.
Yeah.
So I can't contrary to what I can't do impressions of everybody, but if I think it's got to be people that I like.
Yeah.
Or I find entertaining or whatever. I tend to shy off the ones that I'm not that fussed about.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few of them. But as the years gone on, I've sort of, out of necessity, I've had to learn.
Right.
So when I did the Christmas special, for instance, for ITV, they said, right, we've got these scripts for you, okay? Because I had no say in it anyway. So don't judge me. And they're saying, like, do you want to do, we did a thing with Gary Barlow and Robbie Williams, and the other guy, it said to us, which one do you want to do? And I went, I can't do any of them. Either of them I've never done before. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't do anything. Can you do both? And he was like, so he looked more, he was more sort of slimmer and looked like a bit more like Robbie, and then I looked a bit more Gary. Yeah. So I had to sit there and learn an impression of Gary Barlow. Wow. Because he's like, and I thought, I actually put him in accents, sort of, because he's got a monotone voice. Hi, it's Gary Barlow. I'm so excited. I think you're great. So it's sort of like, and that evolved from having to do it.
It's a great Gary Barlow.
Because it's hard because people envisage that you can do everybody. You can't. It's impossible. Yeah. But it's normally the characters that I like, and I see in that situation I had to learn. Yeah, on the spot. Not on the spot. They said, "Well, you've got this character. You need to learn how to do them." By the way. Wow. And you learn it by tomorrow. Wow. Right. I'm in the middle of panto rehearsals as well. Oh, okay, don't matter. That's what you can do, can't you? Oh, mate, that's tough. Like, that was tough. That was tough. But anyway, so from when I was a kid, going back to that, I just did the ones I liked. We used to do Tiswas, if you remember Tiswas. Yeah. I was too young to remember Tiswas. Well,
so here's the thing. I don't really remember Tiswas, but the man who claims to be the Phantom Flan Flinger sold my father a magic trick that he bought me when I was 5, and that was my start into magic. Oh, wow. He ran a stall in Covent Garden. it was later on that I spoke to another magician, and they said that wasn't the Phantom Flamflam. He told everybody that. Yeah. So I don't know. But I never saw the show, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah. Well, it was Chris Tarrant.
Yes.
Chris Tarrant. Hello, and welcome to Tiswas.
Yeah.
And Lenny Henry. And of course, I love Lenny Henry because he was just doing voices as well.
He was amazing.
Hello, this is Trevor McDonald. Yeah. All that sort of stuff. And you know, and he used to decondensed milk. It's really great. And, you know, it just, it was crazy. It was a crazy show. But it was either in Tiswas fan club or, you know, what's this, or Saturday Swap Shop with Noel Edmonds.
Yeah.
And all due respect, Noel, Tiswas was my winner because it was anarchy, and they used to put adults in a cage and chuck water at them.
Brilliant. Wow, you couldn't get away with that now.
Oh, health and safety, darling.
Yeah, no way.
But yeah, but it was crazy. It was a brilliant show. For those who remember it, it was brilliant. So I used to sort of get little characters out of that, and then the next day that was on the Saturday. So on the Monday, I had to go into school, and they go, "Oh, can you do that? Can you?" Oh, okay. Who are the other? And all that stuff. Anyway, and then it sort of progressed that way, and then they used to try and get me up on stage. You know, I remember in drama, me and my mates, two mates, we did "This Is Your Life."
Oh, brilliant!
Right? And one was Darren. His name was. I haven't seen him since school. He was sort of like the Michael Aspel, or back in them days, you know, and he was like, "This is your life," you know, because they could do the voices. Oh, this is your life. And we was only sort of like, I don't know, 12, something like
Brilliant.
that. We had to do it to the whole
Brilliant.
drama queen. And Andrew Baxter's name is, and he was David Bellamy.
Yes.
Who, hello, Squishies, Wheelie Wonder, Wheelie Woo, and all that sort of stuff.
The underground.
And asked everybody else.
Yeah.
So, David, do you remember? And it was just an excuse for me to come back on again, doing another impression. Yeah. And I ended up doing David Attenborough and having a fight with David Bellamy.
That is brilliant.
So it'd be like going, I know, do you remember this voice? And I didn't do it very well back in them days. Hold on, I've got to think of this. And so, yes, David, I haven't seen you since the conference in 1974. And they go, no, I don't want to see him. I go through and we'll have a pretend fight and stuff like that. Because I know who's the best fight. I mean, not many people know. That's the first time I've ever told that story.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah. So
and how old were you?
12.
12 years old?
12,
mate, come on.
And it was just it was a bit anarchy and, you know, just a bit crazy and stuff like that. So that's how that happened.
So
and I never envisaged it as a career, ever.
Never?
Never, ever. No,
Man.
never, ever.
So did you have a normal job when you left school then?
I had a few.
Did you?
I couldn't, you know, I hate these kids at school go, oh yes, I'm going to be member of parliament, or I'm going to be a footballer, or they all seem to do all right. You know what I mean? I was just a council house kid who had no direction at all. Yeah. A little bit bullied and stuff like that. I was like, as a kid, and sort of dragged up, if you like, which is fair enough. And there was a lot of us like that, and had no direction at all.
Wow.
But my mum, my first job, because I lived in the village, there's another village down the road, and my mum was friends with this woman whose husband owned this farm. It was all very farmy. As farms are.
But as they are.
As farms are.
It was very farmy.
Yes, very farmy, like Diddley Squad Farm. So we, my mum knew Valerie, and she goes, I've got you a job. Oh, yeah, on the farm. Yeah, got you a farm. So I had to cycle 5 miles.
Oh, wow.
Each, so that's 10 miles, and the roads were up and down like that. So I was really buff there, really fit and gorgeous.
Fit now, mate.
Got myself going a little bit there, thinking about it. Anyway, but I started cycling because I didn't have a car. I was cycling every day, early morning, and it was a pig farm.
Oh, wow.
And I was a pig farmer.
Brilliant.
It wasn't. It was horrendous.
Did it stink?
Oh, I stank. Everything stank.
Oh,
it was
mate.
horrid, mate.
It must have been quite cool playing with the tiny little piglets.
No, because if they give you a chance, they'll eat you.
Really?
There's been stories, isn't there? There's been stories in the past.
Oh, I've seen Silence of the Lambs. Like there's a moment in that, the second film, I think. I forget what it's called now.
Yeah, pigs will eat you if you give them a chance. Because I think, don't quote me, but I'm sure somebody killed their wife or husband and chucked them in a load of the piglets, and the piglets, they'll eat everything, the bones, everything.
Wow. So great job.
Like that.
What a great job.
Get out of it, piggy. No, mate, get out of it. Because when there's loads of them, they're standing there with baseball bats and everything like that. It's too
much. Tattoos up their arms. I'm ready for you. Here comes that Berlin. What an awful job, mate. It started off sounding like a really nice job, and now I feel really sorry for you.
Because I had to shower, and when you're a teenager, you don't have to shower every day, do you?
God, no way. I'm a
I don't
bath
do it
guy.
now.
I like a bath.
No, I'm a shower person, but
Are you?
not every day.
Mm.
Anyway, today's obviously an off day.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a very tight room.
It is.
So,
Yeah, it's very
so I
warm.
did
here.
that, and then I hated it, and then I did a couple of jobs. I worked at a supermarket, filling shelves and trolley collecting.
Yeah.
Like you do. But then I was actually a chef. Can I mention brands? Does it matter? Do we care?
No.
Well,
No,
I'll put it this way: it's small cook.
Oh,
Roadside.
right. Okay. Yeah. I know.
And I was the small cook.
Yeah. Wait.
And I loved it.
Wow.
I loved it.
Really?
Grilled chef, yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Brilliant.
Oh, no, there seems to be an extra steak that's gone on. Oh, what's my break?
Yeah.
And the pancakes, as we know, were or are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an extra pancake.
Oh, unbelievable.
Look, some ice cream has fell in it. Oh, can't waste it. Can't waste food.
Brilliant.
But I loved it. I did that job
Wow.
on and off for years. Yeah, not years, but for a while.
And throughout all these jobs you had, were you ever like still doing impressions,
we
like
did
for the employees and stuff? Were you still messing about?
Yeah,
Was
I
it
still
so?
messing
Because it
about,
must
yeah.
have still been in your
Yeah,
system,
totally.
right?
And again, I was working with a mate called Bob, who's hilarious. He's one of these guys. He's not a comedian, but he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just when you're growing up.
Yeah.
He's just very funny and very observant, but he couldn't do it stand up. But we did a thing. It was a charity thing, and I can't remember what charity it was for. It could have been something like Comic Relief or something like that.
Yeah.
At this particular, she's known St Neots, not St Neots, St Ives, not in Cornwall, St Ives in Cambridgeshire. There was a little small cook. We can say little chef. It's gone now.
It's gone now.
It's
Do
gone
it.
now. But the actual little chef there has actually gone now.
Right,
But
wow.
we used to be there, and we'd raise some money. And what happened was we all dressed up in fancy dress.
Yeah.
So certain people, but I dressed up as everybody else. So I was going around serving people as Basil Fawlty going, right, so sorry, let me go. And all that stuff. Mr. Fawlty, I'll take this in. All that sort of stuff. And I was like just
Brilliant.
running around like an idiot.
Wow.
And cooking at the same time.
Oh, wow. Oh, brilliant.
So, yeah, I think I got some pictures somewhere of me with a little moustache on going, hi, no, Mr. Fawlty.
Oh, brilliant.
And he
I'd
was
love
like-
to see
like-
that photo.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh,
I was
I
so
would.
slim and had hair.
Oh, I would.
Anyway, but yeah, so we sort of did that, and I'm still sort of doing it. And then I sort of decided that I had sort of a break up a relationship, and I said, right, that's it. I need to get out of here. Not for any particularly bad reason, just because sometimes
Yeah.
you just want to go
Headspace, need to get away for a bit.
So I went to the job centre. The job centre.
What's that?
That's the
Never
centre
heard
of
of it.
jobs, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Oh, that's where they're made.
They got jobs, and they make them in the back.
Is that the one where they go, sorry, computer says no?
Yeah. No. And because of my background as a little chef, I got a job at Pontins in Hemsby, Seacroft. It was not at Pontins now, where there's only about 3 left anyway now, but it was at Hemsby.
Right.
There used to be the big one across the road, and that's where Lee Mack started off.
Oh, wow.
And I was across the road. I don't know if he was there at the same time, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm just dropping names, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Drop.
And, don't drop them.
Do it. I love it. Drop them.
And we and I was there as a what they call KP, kitchen porter.
Right, okay. So it wasn't entertainment, but...
No, I was kitchen porter. I was KP, lowest of the low.
Oh, man.
I getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, cracking hundreds of eggs into the thing for breakfast in the morning for the punters and stuff like that.
Wow.
And again, I didn't know anybody, so I just started mucking about.
Yeah.
So I'd be at the end of the shift, just sweep the floor and stuff like that. So I started going, oh no, the Norman and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, oh yes, Mr. Grimsdale, and they're like, oh, that's funny. And I think that was when Julian Clary was like first sort of arrived on TV, and I was like, hello punters and all that sort of stuff. And so in the staff canteen, people were shouting, oh, Paul, do an impression, and then people started talking to me, which was nice.
Yeah.
So I was doing all that and doing impressions and cartoon characters
And then somebody must have come along and said, right, look, this is Pontins, this is a holiday park. We need you out front. Surely.
Yeah, what happened was I met this guy called Mark.
Right.
And he's still my best friend to this very day.
Oh, amazing.
This is 1988.
Right.
What?
Times fly.
I know, gosh. And he's a big lad, like tall, big lad, and he was in bigger then, and as in he was quite fat. Anyway, you know what we're saying.
Sorry, Mark.
You don't
Sorry,
care.
mate.
You don't care anyway. He said to me afterwards, he only liked me because I did impressions and he thought I was quite funny. 'Cause he started, and as a KP as well, you see.
Yeah.
He started after me, and he's a big lad. Anyway, we met sort of playing snooker and stuff and all that. What happened, the word got round that there's this kitchen porter that does voices and he's quite good.
Yeah.
So the entertainment manager heard about it. He got hold of me, not literally, just come here. And he went, come here, son. A guy called Max Rayner. I don't know if he's still around. It's a long time ago. I've heard he is. Anyway, he got me in his office. I said, oh, I hear you do a few impressions. I went, yeah, do a few impressions. I was only sort of 18, 19 then, so I was like, said a bit, do a few voices that people speak to me. Yeah. He was like going, well, write a list of impressions and maybe we'll get you up one night.
Brilliant.
I was like going, thinking that will never happen.
Yeah.
So I think at the time I wrote a list of about 60 voices that I did at the time.
Wow.
So it was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And I went like that and he went, you do all them? Yeah. Yeah.
60 voices.
At that time. But obviously there's voices you never, I mean, I was doing things like, I'm a hot mum and all that sort of, love you boy. And,
Yeah.
Oh, can I sing my song? And all that,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. I love you boy. And, I can't remember off the top of my head, all the old sort of like John Wayne's and Frank Spencer's obviously.
Yeah.
Everybody started off with, oh, Betty, I got a bit of trouble. Oh, and all that, and Norman Wisdom obviously and stuff. And I wasn't even doing the old boy or anything like that then. But I was just doing these voices. And he said, right, I was thinking, some gag, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 2 nights later, literally like a couple of nights later, what we had was the main venue, which is like a big ballroom sort of thing, because they did all the ballroom dancing and all that sort of stuff there. And then they had this smaller little cabaret bar. And they used to have acts there nearly every night. Mainly comics, because it was a nice little room, which was nice, Obviously, I don't think about that back then. And I was drinking snake bite, I can't even say it.
Snake bite
and black.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
That's
why I lost my hair, kids.
Strong stuff. That's how it happens.
That's how it happens. It's not hereditary. It's just snake bite and black. And I was drinking that back then. God. And I was having a pint or something like that with Mark. And Max Maynard comes up and goes, fucking, can I word? I said, yeah. And he goes, the comedian's not turned up. Can you just do this 5 minutes for me? I went, and I was like, nah, ain't happening. Then Mark, so I went back to Mark. I said, oh God, he wants me to do this. And Mark sort of said, he goes, if you don't get out there, I'm going to punch you.
Wow. Violence
is not
the answer.
All answer to everything. But at this particular moment in my life, it was. He sort of said, I'll punch you if you don't do it. This is a great opportunity. You're brilliant, man. You're brilliant. You know what I mean? They're like, nah, just a mate. You're just drunk. And so literally, all I remember, this is all I remember about it. The compere it was Max, whatever, goes, okay, we've got a bit of a surprise for you, everybody. A surprise for me. One of our lads in the kitchens is really good at impressions. He's a bit nervous. He's never been up on stage before. Just make him feel welcome and stuff like that. And the punters go, and everyone was like, and all I remember, for some bizarre reason, I had a sort of goatee beard on elastic and
yeah.
And that's all I remember having on. And walking and going, oh, hello everybody, it's Fab and Gravy, my goodness.
Great.
Right? And everybody went, whoa, like that. And I think I did 20 minutes ad-libbing it, winging it.
Wow.
I had sort of an idea.
Yeah.
And I was sort of going, oh, anybody like, I think I was doing Rainbow as well then. So, oh, Jimmy, I'm so excited. Yes, George, that's quite right, yes. And all that sort of stuff. And I think I might have done a bit of, Morkamindi and stuff that I just knew. And I just winged it and smashed it. And then that's it. I was hooked. Right in.
Wow, man.
Me and Mark, another guy, sort of left there quite abruptly about a week later. And then we went to another park in Great Yarmouth Seashore.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was Ladbrokes then. It wasn't even Haven, it was Ladbrokes. And we was working behind the bars. And same sort of thing happened. Because back then you had to add up.
Yeah.
Proper, add up.
Yeah.
And maths is not my thing. My dad at maths is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He can work out how much mileage I'm doing to the gallon and all that
Yeah.
malarkey. Even if I told him I went down the road and I spent 10... Oh, yeah, he'd do it in his head.
Brilliant.
Bang, bang. Didn't get that gene. I've got my mum's thick gene, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't add up. So because when it got busy, he'd expect me probably to be on the bar more.
Yeah.
They went, Paul, it's busy, but you just go and get some cars. Because you're rubbish, because everyone's always get served. So I used to get bored doing the glasses.
You must have been sat there behind that bar going, I've been there now. I want to be back on the stage.
Again, I didn't really think that much about it because I thought I was a new place and no one's going to know anything to me. So then I started collecting the glasses, and again I got bored. So I started mucking about with the punters, going, "Good glasses," and doing normal wisdom thing, and I love glass ball, you know, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's just silly stuff, and I go, "Oh, he's funny, he's funny."
Yeah.
And then somebody else heard about it. It wasn't necessarily Eds manager, a guy called Pete Conway. And Pete Conway was the host of one of the other rooms that I wasn't working in. And he's a singer, and he was the presenter, or what they called Compare back in the day. Yes, Compare. He was Compare. And he heard about that I do these voices and stuff like that, and he said, "Oh, okay. Well, I've heard about you. I work in a completely different bar, and I've heard about you doing these impressions, good acting classes. Why don't we do like a little double act thing? When I'm singing a song, strangers in your tights, and all that sort of stuff, you know, because you're a crooner." And I went, okay. And then you'd interrupt me collecting the glasses through the audience as normal wisdom on a Friday night before which then was the last night of the holiday.
Yeah.
And then and then I'll leave you to it, and you can do a little spot, you know, 5-10 minutes, do what you want. All right, okay. So then he helped me write this little act and Mark and everybody was sort of, you know, do that voice, that voice, that's a good one, yeah, whatever. Anyway, must have been a couple of weeks, because I get my confidence up a little bit, and sort of running it through with Pete and that. And so on this Friday night, I'd go down to the other bar, and he'd be going, sway body boy. Okay, and I'd be, glasses. Glasses. Hold on. And bands then, do you remember live bands?
Yeah.
Backing bands.
Wow.
Whoa. Hey, what's going on? I'm getting glasses, Mr. Conway. Mr. Conway, I'm getting glasses. Well, can you keep it down? No, I will never go. I'll never go and do what you do. Without the singing. All that sort of stuff. And I got a bit confident and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did it every Friday.
Wow.
And Pete Conway is Robbie Williams, his dad. And I met Robbie when he was about 13.
No way.
And that's a true story. And
oh my God.
he was lovely. He was like going, because he's come and watch, obviously, his dad, and I used to do on the Friday night. And they go,
brilliant.
I love your impressions, mate.
Wow.
And he was like, nice lad, anyway. But anyway, that's, again, name dropping. I do apologise. But anyway, it was fun, and then everybody was like saying, oh, you've got to be a coat. You've got to be a coat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to be a coat. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. So then the following year, I started my first full season as a resident entertainer for... was it Corton?
Yeah.
In the Lowestoft.
Wow, man.
And that was it. And it was really interesting.
Wow.
Really interesting. Sort of like, it's about confidence, as we know. A lot of it is about confidence and believing in what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've never really, I still have doubts of that.
Yeah, of course.
We all do that, I think. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
I think sometimes you're like a bit, you know.
I think it's amazing. I think everybody that gets nervous before they go on stage is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it means you care.
Oh, totally. And you know, yourself, if you don't have such a good night, even now, I'm a bit like, now what? But you know yourself, you can do your act one night, and storm it. Absolutely, it doesn't matter whether it's a park or wherever, and storm it, and do exactly the same the next night, and you know, you just struggle.
It's hard sometimes not to take it personal as well, huh?
I think it does, and that's my problem. I'm too sensitive.
That's my problem.
See,
because we're stood on stage going, I've created this for you. Please like it. And if they don't like it, you go, oh, like it's hard, man. It's tough.
Yeah, people seem to think it's easy, especially when you like us, when you've done a bit of TV and stuff like that. And you know, I think after BGT and the Christmas special, the people like on social media and stuff think you're a millionaire because you've done a bit of TV.
Absolutely, they do. Of course.
Because when I was doing my radio, I was doing a radio thing, an online radio show.
Yeah.
And I used to say to him, here I am in the west wing of Burling's mansion, and I'm just overlooking the pool and all this sort of stuff. And people were going, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm really good. Oh, you've done well, haven't you?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
It's that perception, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I think you know, from what I started off with, I had no inclination to get into the business at all.
Yeah.
It was just sort of a party piece that I used to do,
Yeah.
doing a few voices that everybody liked. A few people along the way said, "Oh, no, you won't last in the business," but I'm actually still here, by the way. And
Yes, you
and
are,
I
mate.
do. I love what I do,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily like the I think we're the same. We don't necessarily always like the business.
No, mate, show business is a horrible business.
Yeah, but I love what I do, and all I want to do is
really
put a
tough.
smile on people's faces. You know, that's all we want to do is put a smile on someone's face. I'm not saying I'm the best actor in the world. I know I'm very far from the best actor in the world. I'm pretty far from the best impressionist in the world. But I just want people to. I just want to put a smile on people's faces, and if you don't, then that's fine. You know, comedy is so fickle, as we know,
Yes.
and as everybody else in the business knows. Comedy, there's people out there that don't like Ed Sheeran. I'm like, everybody loves Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
but there's
right.
people that go, oh, I don't like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, of course. And I guess, and do you know what? Like, and for somebody like you that genuinely, and I know everyone watching this will know, and I know you can feel it from your energy, that you are doing it for a genuine reason. You are doing it for smiles. You know, it's not about the fame and the money. We do it for. I think, if you're in entertainment at all, you have a responsibility to give that gift that you've got to other people, make them forget about a terrible day they've got.
Yep.
Which is one of the reasons I decided to do BGT. I wanted that larger audience. I wanted to say, you know, my whole life people have said, oh, you know, you've got to take this further, you've got to take this further, and you need that advert. And Britain's Got Talent gives you that.
It's the biggest showcase in the world, isn't it?
So your BGT, let's face it, will go down in history. It was brilliant. BGT hadn't been around for, it was it series 4? Was it the 4th? It wasn't like
2010.
Yeah.
It started in.
Yeah, I think it was only like
So I
series
auditioned
4
for
maybe.
the first one, you know that, don't you?
Oh, did you? No.
Yeah, first series, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I auditioned for it,
Yeah.
and I didn't get anywhere. I think I got through, but didn't get. They didn't show me,
Yeah.
luckily, and it affected me a bit.
Did it?
Because don't forget, I'm that bit older, and I was 40 or whatever I was back then, 38. 2007 it was the first series.
Yeah.
2007.
Wow.
Or maybe 6. Anyway,
Yeah.
the process started in 2006, didn't it?
Yeah.
And people get saying to me, oh, you got to do this, you do it. It's me and Steve Hewlett, you know Steve?
Yeah, yeah, the
Steve,
ventriloquist.
Lovely Steve, love Steve. And we were both auditioning for it. No, he got an audition and I sort of didn't initially, which is the pre-audition, not the audition,
Yeah.
audition you see on TV. And he couldn't do his, so he said,
Right.
why don't you do my audition, do your audition in my spot? But
Yeah.
they wouldn't let that happen,
Wow.
just bizarrely. Anyway,
Wow.
so kind of so I sort of did it, and it went pretty well actually, apart from I got buzzed by Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
He didn't see this, so I shouldn't really say, but and he said I retract it because it was very good, and I didn't do what I did in the second time round. But the whole process of it wasn't quite the smooth thing because obviously it was the first year.
Teething problems.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it sort of like it was a little bit haphazard, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and a few of the other acts that were proper acts,
Yeah, absolutely agree.
and they it sort of affected me because I know they're making a TV show.
Yeah.
But I've been at that time been in the business 25 years, whatever. Man,
Wow.
and I just wanted to, like you say, you just wanted to let people know you're around still and just
Yeah.
raise your profile.
Absolutely.
And when you're doing it for a living, it's harder, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And but it did affect me, and it's not being pretentious or being up my own backside or anything like that at all, because I'm not. When you start seeing other people going through who are the novelty acts,
This
is that the right word?
100%, mate. This
You
is
know.
the notorious notion of these talent shows, isn't it? Sometimes that's what makes it so controversial. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, why have they put him through? He was so much
Yeah,
better. Like,
exactly,
and yeah, but it's
But it quite affected me. I was
Yeah.
thinking, I've been working my nuts off for the
Yeah.
last how many years, trying to better myself all the
Yeah.
time. And it really affected me. And my now wife, Leah, my latest wife, Leah, said, she wasn't my wife then. Yeah, she wasn't. She goes, don't apply for it again, because it really sort of knocked my confidence you
Yeah.
know, in the whole process of it all, thinking, not that I was, again, presuming that I should got through or whatever like that. And it sort of knocked my confidence a little bit. And then, so 3-4 years later, I'm down at Lou Bay
yeah,
doing a gig with Bubba.
yeah,
who's sort of the tech guy down there, and I was staying over because I didn't have to get down there anyway. And so staying over, so after I just smashed this particular night, had a great gig, and he was on his computer. That's a computer, by the way. It's not a computer. And he goes, yeah, and a pint and that, and he turns his laptop, goes, apply for it. And he'd got the application form for Breed GT again.
Oh, peer pressure time.
Can't do it. Again, other people had been saying to me, do it again.
Yeah.
You know, looking for somebody like you. I'm like, oh, no, I don't care. I don't want to go through that, put myself through that again. 2 pints later, oh yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
Didn't tell Leah. Thinking that thing happened a bit. Next thing I get a call. Okay, I had to do a pre-audition.
Yeah.
In Cardiff at the hotel there. Again, I was like, Leah's with me, and I was like, I feel really uncomfortable. This is just, I can see what's going to happen again. It's going to be like, but I'm going to go with it. Eyes wide open. Don't take it personally. That's the way it goes. If nothing happens, nothing happens. Just, I've got to keep it. And he was like going, yeah, you know, a bit annoyed you're doing it, but only because it's your mind, you know, mindset and stuff like that. And she just do that, and so I did. We wrote a routine, which you saw on the audition.
Yeah.
But there was another bit in it. I did Fools and Horses.
Right. Okay.
They said don't do that. Just keep it more contemporary. Even though all the cartoons are like Scooby-Doo and stuff like that. But anyway.
Yeah.
And it was completely different. I was treated completely differently. You know, the score.
Yeah.
I was obviously, it marked that I was going to do well of it, and you know, I don't think you can get 3,000 people giving a standing ovation.
Man, come on, that is such a beautiful moment.
In Cardiff as well, it's like you could tell it hit me. Even now, I'm thinking I'm getting emotional about it because it just hit me. It's like, no, it's just ridiculous. Because I went out of a completely different attitude. Because the first time I did, I was like, I am Paul Burling and stuff, and some of the stuff you didn't see, which they edited out, was I was like being cheeky chap, like you, cheeky chappy, right? So you know, so Paul, you know, what's it like? And what's the worst gig you've ever done? Surprisingly, I've had that question before from one, you know. Yeah. Oh, I got paid off. What do you mean, Paul? Paid off? Well, after 15 minutes, they said, here goes your money, go. And what they didn't show, I said, someone goes, let's hope you don't get paid off tonight. I said, you can pay me off, Simon, but it's going to cost you £100,000.
Great answer.
Right, and then ended up laughing. Yeah. So I felt a completely different vibe at all. And then Piers goes, so who impressionists do you aspire to? I said, well, I'm just about old enough to remember Mike Yarwood, who's the first TV impressionist, who was great. And then over the years, Bobby Davro and Rory Bremner, and nowadays it's John Coleshaw and Alistair McGowan. Yeah. And he goes, what about what's his name? Ex-husband of Amanda, Les Dennis. Yes. And Piers goes, what about Les Dennis? And I went, I don't really know. So I've won him over being cheeky chappy.
Oh, brilliant.
And actually like giving him what it is, all sort of not so much set up. Anyway, and because I was just being really cheeky with it and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a complete contrast to what I was like before. Wow. Anyway, you saw what happened, and that was genuine. Yeah. It was genuine.
No, yeah, you can see.
It was genuine. And they, you know, it's got little bits and pieces out of it, but the cartoon thing was just, because I wrote that routine for pantomime when I was at Evolution with Paul Hendy. And I was working with Paul Hendy at the time. Hey, mate, what you need to do, mate, you need to put that in, when you do audition, mate, that'd be great, that, you know. Yeah. And I was like, okay, right. For those who know Paul Hendy, that's what he speaks like. You're right, mate. Yeah. And lovely guy as well. And and
it was a great routine, man.
It was really just bang, 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 bang.
So good.
And you know, and it started with Harry Hill, obviously, visual, always start visual. And the rest is history, really. And
so, did you ever, because of you? So you became like crazy famous so quick because of your main. All your impressions are great, but everyone knew you for your Harry Hill. That was the thing that took the world by storm. No, I'd never seen an impression of Harry Hill, and it was spot on. Did he ever contact you? Did you ever get like? So how did that happen?
It's bizarre because at that time in my act, I wasn't doing Harry Hill. I was just doing a throwaway, like, what the chances of that happening, eh? Yeah. And that was about it. Yeah. But when I wrote, me and Leah wrote the audition, we just really utilise it. At that time, Harry Hill was big because he was doing the TV Bert every Saturday, which is Everybody watched it. It was a family show.
Yeah. It was great.
And brilliant. It was brilliant.
It was a
Really,
brilliant
really
show.
good. So, bless you. And
Who was that? Was that you? You ventriloquism as well, I see.
Oh no, yes, you should. You should. And so we said, let's go visual. Let's go Harry Hill.
Yeah.
Let's just utilise what you got, basically. So, as you know, and that. Anyway, so then you get, as you know, get called back when you get through to the semi-finals. Get called back and have a production meeting.
Yes.
And I come up with another completely different idea because I didn't want to be known just as the Harry Hill thing.
Yeah.
But they sort of suggested that I did the TV burp thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I went away with Leah and a few of my mates, and we sat down and come up with the concept of that.
Wow.
And so what happened then was
Here it comes.
I got through the semi-final.
Yeah.
One of the head honchos via TV said, "Oh, Harry Hill sends his regards. He's in Spain at the moment on holiday, but he's watching. He's saying brilliant, fantastic." Now that I went, "Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You know, as you do.
Yeah.
That's really nice." And we next couple of days had to go down to Soho to the recording studio to do the music for 500 Miles for the final.
Yeah.
And I can imagine my phone's been red hot. Everyone that's ever known me and their parents and kids and I've never met are phoning me. My phone's just like red hot. It's amazing, which is lovely. This number comes up and goes, "Hello? Oh, hello, Paul. It's Harry Hill." I went, yeah, like that, right? Like that. Like this must be a wind up or something.
Yeah.
Because you get them, don't you?
Of course.
And he goes, "Yeah, I'm in Spain at the moment." I went,
Oh my god.
"Hi."
Oh my god, no, it's real.
And Leah was there going, like they go, "Who is it?
Yeah.
Who is it?" Like that. I'm going, "All right." She goes, "What?" Yes, mate. Yeah. I had to go. She's going, "Yeah." You thought I'd had some sort of stroke or something. You know what I mean? She did. There's a difference between the wee dance and the excited dance, isn't there?
Yeah.
The wee dance is what you sort of go, "Oh, wee do we." The excited dance is like, "Oh my god," like that, like that. And they're going, "Yeah." Okay. "Oh yeah. Well, yeah, mate. Well done. That's going great. Brilliant. Loving it. What are you doing? Loving it." But he doesn't really speak like that.
No.
But he's like, "Yeah, you're doing great." And I said, "No, thanks, mate. Thank you very much for calling me. How'd you get my number?" "I've got a number." And I said, "Well, can I keep your number?" "Of course you can, mate. Yeah, anytime. Just anything. So what are you doing for your finale?" And I said, "Well, I'm dropping you." Sorry, mate. He goes, "Yeah, I think that's probably a wise thing to do. He's known for doing just predominantly doing Harry, doing me." I said, "No, mate. It's nothing personal." Anything like that. And then from that, we sort of kept in touch, and I did a Channel 4 thing with him. Whatever happened to Harry Hill, which is like a spoof of. Because he started off on Channel 4, didn't he? The Harry Hill show. "And the Badger Parade!" And all that sort of stuff. And he they did like the sort of documentary of what had happened to him after he left Channel 4.
Yeah.
And it was like with Al Murray and all this sort of stuff. It was great fun. And I just played him in these sort of reenactments.
Wow.
And then I had the I was out doing I was doing a gig out in Egypt, as you do.
As you do.
And I was on the way back, and I had an email from this this guy saying, and the actual subject was Harry Hill movie. I've sort of felt about quite I would say quite a nice rapport with Harry.
Yeah.
As in, like, I'm not reading him every day or anything like that.
Yeah.
Every other day. But he's a lovely guy anyway. He's really lovely. Very quiet like me. He, anyway, cut long story short, I got a part as playing Harry Hill's dad.
Yeah. Yes,
which was
you did, mate.
Bizarre.
Yeah, right.
Bizarre, because I wasn't told much about it. I only told that I had to be at this particular place at a certain time for the first day of filming, and so I didn't know, apart from Harry was in it, I didn't know anybody else was in it. So I got there early.
Mate,
I had to be there early.
And everyone was in it.
It was ridiculous. I didn't know this, right? So I get there nice and early, right?
Yeah.
I park my car. This car parked opposite. A guy called Simon, who was one that contacted me. He's sort of like director, assistant director.
Yeah.
Lovely guy. "Oh, Paul, nice and early, mate. Come on, have a cup of tea. Come on." Okay, "Yeah, nice, mate. Yeah. Oh, great having you aboard, mate. Thank you so much." And that sort of stuff. "Yeah, that's right, mate." not going to say no, is it?
Yeah.
You know, and there was this big sort of like conference tables and stuff like that, and I didn't really take a lot of notes because I was really parched.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
And anyway, goes, oh, get Paul a cup of tea, yeah, a cup of tea, yeah, what sugar, whatever. You know, let me show you what this is all about. I'm sorry it's been a bit secretive, but it have to be these sort of things.
Yeah.
So I had the wall of pictures. So I just walked up to nonchalant, as one does, and I
Yeah.
said, oh, that's Harry Hill. It's Matt Lucas. It's Sheridan Smith. There's Julie Walters. James, Jim Broadbent. Simon Bird. And there's my little face in there like that. And then underneath I go, so someone's going, yeah, so obviously it's Harry Hill, and Matt Lucas is playing his brother, his evil twin brother.
Yeah.
You're playing their dad. Julie Walters is your mum.
And Johnny Vegas is the hamster.
And Johnny Vegas is the hamster. No, didn't see Johnny. Anyway,
Yeah.
and Matt Lucas was always on Twitter and stuff. He was, when I was doing BGT, he was like
Wow.
really pushing me to do well and stuff like that.
Oh,
He loves all
man,
that
that's
sort of stuff.
so
I did the
great.
old Margie Dawes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And and chatted to him. He was lovely, and I had a really weird moment.
Yeah.
A surreal, you know, like a surreal moment. Because I met him. Hello, mate. Hello, Paul. Right, nice to meet you, mate. Yeah. Oh, thanks for your support. I think doing BGT. I know it's a couple of years ago, but you know, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
That's right, mate. You know, he's a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Wow.
And then I had to do some filming with him and Harry. And Harry goes, "Oh, have you met Paul?" And I goes, "Oh yeah, we met." Oh, yeah. He goes, and Harry goes, "He does us better than what we do ourselves." Right? That makes sense. And it was like going, I
Wow.
was like, wow. So then me and Matt started doing his characters to each other. So, how's your dolls? Yeah, right, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, and all that sort of, it was like one of those surreal moments.
Wow,
And we got to come
man.
here, shut up, and all that sort of stuff like to each other. Like,
That is amazing.
why isn't this not being filmed?
Yeah, right.
You can't
That's
obviously film it, so-
amazing, man.
I was like one of those moments, you know what I mean? And sort of kept in touch with him as well. And, you know, these things go by the by, but, you know, and the film was critically slammed, but it was just, and I'm only a minuscule of time, but,
Yeah, but mate,
me
come on.
and Leah took my kids to go and see it at the cinema. Waited till I got back from Pantone.
Yeah,
So I got invited. I was in Southend in pantomime,
yeah.
and I couldn't do the green. Well, it was red carpet. It was green carpet. I didn't do the premiere.
Oh no! Oh,
We did the rap party, obviously.
Oh, did
but-
you? Yeah, of course. Always do the rap
We'll do
party.
the rap party now.
Oh,
And
mate,
but yeah,
what an
so
experience.
wow, it was like, oh my god. And then so I went to see it, and we took my kids.
Yeah.
And at the end, Leah with the kids, when my name came up, which was above Matt Lucas's, by the way. Sorry, Matt.
Brilliant.
all my kids, I've got thousands of them.
Yeah.
Obviously. I won't try,
Great.
but it's good. And then anybody else that watched it, and that was anyway. And they're like, yeah.
Brilliant. Man, that must have been an amazing
It was
moment.
like crazy, because like Lee always says to me, if I hadn't listened to her, I would have done it. And
Yeah.
she goes, if you hadn't have done that, you would never would have got that.
Yeah, right.
So it all happens for a reason.
Yeah,
and
of course it does,
And I'm
mate.
a believer in fate, good and bad. But it's like, you know, it all works out, and it was fine, and yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy just to think
Paul.
it was like 11 years ago. BGT
Yeah,
thing.
but still.
So many fun
What a
stories.
ride! What a ride,
I
man!
know, mate.
So what's next? Like, because I know because you seem to have kind of ticked everything off the bucket list. So, like at this point, are you happy? Like
Pretty much, yeah.
you've got your nice house, you've got your lovely new dog, you've got your
Yeah,
beautiful wife, your
so-
kids, you have a bar in your house. Can I just point that out?
Yeah, it's a nice bar as well.
Can't wait
Branded
to
and
come and have a
everything.
drink for a bar.
Mate, you're always
Can't
welcome.
wait.
Cocktails galore.
I'm in.
I don't think I've ticked everything. But as you sort of get older, you sort of realise that sometimes it does still get harder. Doesn't matter whether you've done anything really. I
Yeah.
think it still gets harder. But the thing about what I do, there's not that many around.
No, definitely not.
You know, and I think the business is constantly changing, as we know, especially recently. And,
Yeah.
you know, I did a lot of stuff online. I was doing clap for the carers and stuff like that, and behind the bar.
Yeah.
And I did some videos of doing it as various characters, just to remind people to do it.
Yeah.
So I was doing it, like for instance, I did.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday. What you need to do is clap for the carers. Come on, you lot, let's see you out on the streets. Oh, no. Not too close, 2 metre rule.
I'm doing the yeah. Yes, firm aid the bush and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? You need to go out and clap for those carers, you know. You know what I mean? No, makes sense. It's right, dear boy. It's right, son. So stuff like that. you know, I get random stuff. I had a guy who's got these puppets of the Fools and Horses characters.
Yeah.
Steve Lewis, lovely guy. Not met him, but he's a really lovely guy. And he's got these brilliant puppets of Del Boy, Uncle Albert, Boise, Rodney, virtually all of them. And it's the 40th anniversary of when Fools and Horses started.
Wow.
And he wanted to do something with it. He's just got these puppets. He's not a ventriloquist or anything like that.
Right, okay.
But I supplied the voices for him.
Brilliant.
And it was just great fun.
Oh, man.
Oh, Del Boy, you're looking great after 40 years. What's your secret? That's only half-hearted in French about it because it's very loud. And all that sort of stuff. And he's got these puppets in a pub.
Oh, wow, great.
And they've done this sort of like they've redone this sort of this theme tune with up-to-date lyrics and stuff like that, talking about the pandemic and that.
Yeah.
During the war. During the pandemic, son.
Yeah, brilliant.
But it was great fun. I love these little things. Not so. I'm not saying I'm going to do things for free, but when it comes along, little thing, you know yourself, things come along. Go, I'll just do that.
Yeah, of course, mate.
There's no harm. No, I'm just going to get
course.
You know, like this, really.
Mate, I'm so happy that you were around today, and
Mate,
it was
it's a pleasure.
an
It's
absolute,
all right.
so amazing to speak to you. And I love what you've done for our industry, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's people like you that keep this industry alive, because it is a cutthroat business, and it's a very ruthless business. And I think everyone at home will know. And will see your passion and what you do, and I can't encourage anybody more that if you ever see this man's name anywhere, please go and see him, because his full show is incredible. Paul, thank you so much for joining me today. I love you so much. Should we go and get that drink? Will you do me one favour?
Go on.
Sorry, I'm going to fanboy out for a minute here. Will you just say anything like "Thank you, it's lovely to meet you" as Morgan Freeman?
Okay. You only caught this because he did for the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
All right, then. And so, that's the end of this production. Thank you there to Matt Edwards for inviting me on. Yes, it's been a pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the legend that is Mr. Paul Burling. Paul, thank you so much, mate. I love you. Join us again next week for another podcast. I don't know what to say after that. I'm just going to go. Thank you very much, Paul. I love you.
Thanks.
See you later, meow.